Hey everybody, welcome back to Nelson Field. David Bloomquist here with Bear Bechtel, Mike Anthony. 0-0 game. Edison and Bellaire, both teams undefeated, ready to start the second quarter. And PA announcer was mentioning something about a Twinkie eating contest. I believe Mike Anthony, that's right in his ballpark, isn't it?
I'll tell you what, when it comes to eating, that guy's he's major league.
Mr. Twinkie.
He's just shaking his head on that one.
Second down and 10 from the 25. Bellaire going to the air. He's got a man open deep, and they hook up. They hook up. Chaz Call with the big reception from Massarelli. The Big Reds are in business at the 20-yard line of Edison.
Yeah, that play went for about 55 yards. Once again, the perseverance of the Bellaire coaching staff. They've gone long several times, came up empty. We see it here. Massarelli does a nice job of eluding the rush, gets out in the open, throws the ball in the air about 30 yards. Chaz Call runs under it. Big pickup, 55 yards. Bellaire offense is in business.
Little play action by Bellaire, had the Edison defense off guard. Sean Hatcher finally makes a tackle. They're going right back to the air. Pressure. Massarelli in the flat, a nice defensive play, and a flag is down.
Yeah, it looks
Craig
like
Carmen with the play on defense.
Yeah, it looks like we're going to have a clipping call on one of the Bellaire linemen. Usually when it's thrown by the referee there, David, it's going to be a clip or a hold or something of that nature. And Bellaire real fortunate on that play that wasn't picked off.
And you talked about it in the open, that quick strike offense of Bellaire. You can hold them down, but sooner or later they're going to get you.
Yeah, well, they made a commitment to their style of offense, and yeah, they do create the big play. One of the keys this year, I think, is last year Jose Davis was virtually untouched in that backfield. He had that elusive ability to get away from the defensive lineman. So Ty, so far the early goings look pretty good, and that's going to be one of the keys for him this season.
As we take a look at it again. Almost picked off. Nice defensive play out there by Carmen.
Yeah, just a little bit underthrown.
First down and 33. Here's the defense all over Massarelli again, but somehow he gets out of there. He's going to pick up about 5 or 6 yards. And Bear, I'll tell you what, the Edison line is doing a great job getting in there, but they can't lasso him. Massarelli doing a great job of eluding the rush.
Yeah, Cal Carey on the defensive tackle goes about 6'2", 240, and he's just a handful, and he's been getting through the line of Bellaire, but so far he hadn't been able to catch Mr. Massarelli.
You mentioned Jose Davis, of course, everything last year, but I'll tell you what, Coach Magistro and Bellaire very happy with their quarterback, Ty Massarelli. He's had 2 very good games, showing great composure out here for a first-year starter, just a junior.
Well, they know Ty's a good athlete, did an outstanding job in the secondary, and now he's being called upon to run the offense.
And here he goes again. He has Call. Great catch. Oh, my. Chaz Call laid out. Beautiful grab. It doesn't get any better than that.
Well, I'll tell you, Blaire's just had great success with their tight ends. Last year, Todd Kinder had about 60 catches for the season. Here, Chaz Call shows he's an outstanding athlete. Plays a little bit of basketball for Coach Amirani down here at Bellaire, and just a great job on this play of stretching out and catching the football. Total concentration.
This is beautiful. That is the toughest catch you can make, other than being completely wide open by yourself and having time to think about it.
Exactly.
You see, Edison with the timeout. They're out there regrouping a little bit out there. And I tell you what, Chaz Call's come up big, but and Ben Taylor is supposed to be the go-to guy, great receiver, and Bellaire's just loaded all the way around. And I tell you what, Mike, as you look at this Bellaire team, there's so many weapons. They lost some from last year, but they just have replenished themselves.
And they sure have, David. If you look in most teams, quarterbacks are right-handed, so they'll run the plays mainly to the right side. But in this case, Massarelli left-handed. They've been really open on the left side, and I was right next to the catch by Call, and I could actually see his eyes concentrating on the football. Great concentration. His Call is one of the best athletes that no one knows about here in Bellaire, and he did an unbelievable job hanging on to that football on a tough catch, and that's why Bellaire's in business now. And Coach Bain wasn't very happy. After the clip, he had Bellaire in trouble, and now they bail Bellaire out by leaving Call wide open, and the nice catch sets up Bellaire here after the timeout.
Thanks, Mike, and I'll tell you what, even though with that big play, they still didn't pick up a first down. It's 3rd down and 3 from the Edison 13, 0-0 game here in the second quarter, so this is just as big a play as the previous one. Massarelli under center. He's rolling out. He's going to toss it up, and Sokor can't hang on, so it brings up 4th down and 3 for the Big Reds.
Yeah, it's going to be decision time for Coach Magistro, and number 23, freshman kicker Justin Homer's waiting on the sidelines to see what Coach Magistro is going to decide. Looks like he's going to roll the dice, Dave.
So both coaches here early going for it on 4th down. Coach Bain went for it at about midfield, picked it up. And here it's Coach Magistro's turn. 4th down and 3 from the 13. Lacondas, the only guy in the backfield. Massarelli going to the air. Look at end zone, and he overthrows call at the 4-yard line. Incomplete. The Edison defense stands and turns it over to their offense.
I still think it was a good decision by Coach Magistro, Dave. They're down at the 13-yard line. Give their defense a chance to come out and play some football, but they do have that freshman kicker that's looked good so far in the early season. Homer, of course, that's a famous Bellaire name, and they're noted for their kicking, and they're real high on this freshman. They believe he's going to be an outstanding kicker before he's all done.
I think Homer's a famous name wherever you go, isn't it? It's right up there with Bubba.
Yeah, there you go.
And Evan, ain't it, Mike?
Exactly.
All right, so Edison takes over. 1st down and 10 from their own 13-yard line. Full house backfield, and they're going to keep it on the ground. Leak runs in about the whole Bellaire defense. Are you surprised a little bit, Bear, about Bellaire? I mean, we all know they can throw. We all know they would throw, but I didn't think they'd come out throwing, you know, on every down except for 2 so far in this game.
Well, quite honestly, I saw them in the first game against St. Clairsville. They had great success with the pass. Actually got out to a 38-0 lead. Didn't have to run the football. Last week in the rain, they ran it nonstop against Beaver. So it's still early in the season, Dave, but it needs to be decided what type of offense Bellaire is going to have in terms of passing and running the football.
Leak on the carry, picks up a couple. Ben Taylor and Sokor, I believe, on the tackle for the Big Reds. Picked up 4. It's going to be 3rd down and 3 for Edison. Big conversion here.
Yeah, the Bellaire defense needs to come up with a stop and get the football back.
Clock ticking, 9:20 left to go in the half. 0-0 game between two 2-0 teams. Full house backfield again. Abdallah's going to keep it. And he about got his head taken off out there by Ben Taylor. Crowd doesn't like the mark.
Yeah, the fans from Edison right below us here aren't real happy with the mark, but it's going to set up a 4th and 1. Looks like Edison's got to kick the ball away.
I really expected this to be a close game, but I didn't think it would be such a stalemate early. You know, I was looking for maybe a 14-7, 14-14 game in the first half. So far, 0-0. That's shocking.
Yeah, well, I think we're going to see some scoring as the day develops, but in the early going, it has been basically a taffy pull, and be open to see if one team can jump out ahead.
Low punt. Taking on the drive, Bellaire. They're in Edison territory at about the 40-yard line. Timmy Marling on the return. He fielded a line drive. He needed a mitt for that one.
Yeah, like we said, the kicking game is going to be important. That kick went about 27 yards, so Edison needs to get a little more height on those kicks and give their ends a little chance to cover.